How you doing, folks? My name's Jesse. Vlog entry number 48, November 2nd. What have I been working on? Well, my blues band's playing Friday the 8th, or Saturday the 8th, which would be one day after this video comes out, in Tawnytown, Maryland at Believe Farms. It's to benefit an organization that is providing mental health help for veterans at risk. So that's going to be a good one. And then the next one is a gig in December with Backroads Country Band at the Northeast VFW. And that one is Gary, the band leader, kind of threw me for a loop. Normally I play 2 sets on bass and 2 sets on guitar. And I've worked the 2 sets on bass and 2 sets on guitar pretty well, but he's flipping them on me. So now I have to play guitar on songs I normally played bass on and play bass on songs I normally played guitar on. And so now I'm learning all kinds of stuff, including yeah. So, we're still working on it. We're, as bad as that might sound, it's a whole lot better than it was 3 days ago when I first started. Maybe not. Basically, I'm stealing like a couple licks from one YouTube video guy who did the... I just thought that was cool. Will it be what the final... There's always the... if worse comes to worse. So that's keeping me busy. What have I working on today? Well, this one is getting ready to put this one up on the block. It's a 70... I think it's a 76, 74 Gibson L6 S. The ebony one with the ebony board. I have a weird relationship with L6S's. I got one back in 2003, 2004, maybe even as late as 2005, off of Harmony Central's Classifieds, which I don't even know if they still have Classifieds anymore, for $300 from some guy, I want to say in Florida. And it had been repainted a pearl white, and the maple fingerboard had been stained to look like ebony. And I got it because, you know, like, I was like, oh, it's a Gibson, it's got humbuckers. It'll sound like a Les Paul. It's 24 and 3/4 inch scale. It'll sound like a Les Paul. Nope. Did not sound like a Les Paul at all. So I sold it. And then I learned about Bill Lawrence, the guy who designed it. And I learned that this wasn't exactly what he had in mind, that this was a compromise between his vision and Gibson's budget. He said in an interview or in print one time, if I could have gotten just $25 more per unit, it would have been the guitar that I had envisioned. But this was the end result. got the Q filter in it, and it's got the 6-way switch. Now let's see how well I do. Both pickups in phase, in series. Really strident. Position 2, neck. The pickups are Bill Lawrence designed. They're ceramic magnets and they're epoxied. I think they're called super humbuckers. They're reasonably hot. Let's see. Position 3 is out of phase. No, in phase, sorry. So, both pickups parallel in phase. Next one's out of phase. Next one I think is the bridge. I want to tell a story about the bridge pickup in a minute. And then one more out of phase. With a capacitor in there somewhere, and that's it. So a pretty wide variety of tones. One and 9/16 at the nut, which doesn't feel like a Gibson. But having said that, the farther you go up, the more the neck kind of fills out a little bit. This guitar, the one thing it definitely had going for it was the easy access to the 24 frets. Of course, how often do you go up there? So, here's the thing. I bought my first one, like I said, in like 2004, 2005, and it did not sound like a Les Paul. And I was disappointed. So I sold it. Interestingly enough, the guy I sold it to was a small dealer in the area, and he sold it to a friend of mine. And we talked about it. He's like, yeah, I used to have an L6 S. It was like pearl white. I was like, wait, did you buy it from what's his name, Dan? And he goes, yeah. I was like, that was my guitar. So right after COVID, or mid-COVID, I saw one at the Music Go Round in Cockeysville for like $800. And I said, I never gave it a chance. I wanted it to be a Les Paul and it wasn't. But I never found out what it really was. So I picked it up. It was an all maple one, in pretty decent shape. I played one gig with it, and it was okay. The bridge pickup, when I was playing it, I was playing some country stuff, and I was like, my God, this is the most telly sounding Gibson I've ever played. But it was COVID, and anything with Gibson's name on it, you could sell at a premium. So I ended up selling it because I wasn't using it. And then I watched an Uncle Larry video where he was talking to the guys at Grunes, and he was talking about like what the worst Gibson was, and he said it was the L6S. And the ornery part of me was like, but I can make it do something. So I found another one, and this one was at a music-go-round in Nantucket, Massachusetts. And we have a friend who lives near there who was coming down for Easter. I was like, hey, Sally, would you mind picking up a guitar for me so you can save me shipping? And she did. Thank you, Sally. This one came with the original hard shell case. And when I opened it up, it was death. It was just the funk of death. And so I brought it home, you know, and I cleaned off the guitar, and I took the case and immediately put like 1.5 pounds of baking soda in it and let it sit out in the shed for a couple weeks. And then I pulled it out of the shed and I vacuumed it out, and the smell was better. So I put the guitar away. And then a couple days later, I pulled it out, and it looked like it had dandruff, because apparently when baking soda gets in pile, it takes some doing to get it out. So I ended up having to dump it and vacuum it like 2 or 3 times, and I even got an orbital sander and took the sandpaper out of it and turned it on just so it would shake everything, and then just kind of vacuum up as best I could. This one's got like a hairline crack right on the back. So much for that Norland volute. But the interesting thing is, like, I don't think the crack made it through. Oh my, I guess it did. It did make it. It partially made it through to the front. It's barely noticeable, you know. So I bought this 3 times, and I'm going to sell it again. Maybe at some point I'll learn, right? You know? Here's the thing. Like, I saw an interview, Uncle Larry interviewed Dan Huff one time, and Dan Huff said there are no bad tones. There's only tones that are appropriate and not appropriate for a given situation. There are some good sounds in this guitar. Like, for one thing, this guitar taught me that 2 pickups in series is money, you know? Like, it just jumps out, you know? It's like whatever a 2 pickup sound is, only better, you know? And I do... This has some of the most musical out-of-phase sounds I've ever heard. But I took it to band practice, because band practice is a great place for me to try out all my gear, and I don't know, it just didn't jump. It didn't jump in the mix, you know. It didn't jump like some of my other guitars did, you know. So I love the feel of the ebony neck, the ebony fingerboard. Down here it's a little cramped, but up here it feels really good. Of course, you know what Tommy Tedesco said, there's no money above the 3rd fret or the 4th fret. Could have been the 5th fret. Yeah, the other thing too is the middle is supposed to be the cue control. supposed to pull the mid-range out. But this one doesn't seem to work as well as others that I've... Maybe I need to go in... Like, it's an inductance coil, and maybe I just need to tighten up the coil a little bit, but... I mean, it was nice to revisit it, and, like, there's something striking about, this all black guitar. And it feels good. It sits nice on the body. But it's just not working for me right now, so I'm going to be sending it on its way. Let me know if you've had one of these. Let me know what your thoughts are. My name's Jesse. I'll talk to you later.